Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lonnie, and I'm ticked off. Okay, so we have to revisit the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden crap because I think that I just got to follow my dad, who's very liberal, Democrat. Nothing wrong with that. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But he made a comment to me. He said, "Well, should I be punished for something that you do?" And I said, "No." He said, "Should my father be punished for something that I did?" I said, "No." He says, "So why should Joe Biden be punished for something that Hunter did?" Therein lies the rub, right? Because it's not just what Hunter did. Nobody in the right mind would blame anyone for getting a great job, making $50,000 a month. Let me repeat that: 50,000 a month, working for a company in a different country that he had no knowledge of the country, no knowledge of the gas and oil industry. He had no experience, none. And you're being paid $50,000 a month. When Hunter Biden was interviewed by NBC's Savannah Guthrie, she asked him, and I applaud her for this. She said, "Do you think that if because you were hired because of your name?" And he honestly said yes. I was impressed that he actually said yes. Here's where the rub comes in. Joe Biden, when he was vice president of the United States, was in charge of foreign policy for two countries, just two: Ukraine and China. Hunter Biden rode on Air Force Two with the vice president from the United States to China. Now, really great to see that they got a great father son relationship and that Hunter could take time off from, his busy work schedule working for Burisma to go on a trip with his dad. However, when Hunter Biden and Joe Biden got back on Air Force Two to come back to the United States, Hunter Biden had secured a multi-million-dollar deal with the biggest energy company in China. Now, do you think that Hunter Biden is that great of a salesman that he was able to, talk them out of millions of dollars? Or was it because his dad is the vice president of the United States? Let's use a little bit of common sense here. If my last name was Biden and my dad was the vice president of the United States and I was a junkie for all intents and purposes, he was addicted to drugs. And let me be clear, I'm happy that he's clean. But I've got no experience in the energy business. None. Zero. Joe Hunter Biden's extent of knowledge in the energy business is walking over and turning on a light switch. So if that's the prerequisite, then hey Burisma, give me a call. I'll be on your board. Hey China, give me a call. I could use a few $1,000,000. Come on. Use a little bit of common sense. Now, one thing that I didn't know when I was talking to my dad just a few minutes ago was that he never saw the video of Joe Biden, vice president, excuse me, make sure you use the due respect that he deserves. Vice President Joe Biden, in an interview, talking about wanting the prosecutor fired. And this prosecutor was the prosecutor who was investigating Burisma for wrongdoing. And that aid to Ukraine was going to be held up if he didn't get his way and this prosecutor got fired. Now, As y'all know, I just started this channel like 4 or 5 days ago. I'm not really good at popping up different videos in the corner for you to watch, so we're going to do this kind of like the redneck way. This is on my phone, and see if I can get this to work right. I apologize. Bear with me. I remember going over convincing our team. Okay. I remember going over convincing our team to convincing that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor. They did. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours. I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid. Okay. I hope you guys could hear that. And when I review the video before I put it up, I'll make sure that the volume came through. It clearly states, I told the guy, you're not getting the aid unless the prosecutor is fired. The prosecutor that was investigating his son's Burisma, the company Burisma, that his son is on the board of directors. Remember what Hunter Biden said in his interview with Savannah Guthrie, that no, they probably wouldn't have put me on the board if my dad wasn't the vice president of the United States. You heard many times about quid pro quo. It's Latin. It means this for that. You do this, I'll do that. You fire the prosecutor that's investigating Burisma, and by extension, my son, I'll give you the foreign aid that the United States is planning on giving you anyway. Don't fire him, I don't give you the aid. With how bad of an economy that Ukraine has, do you not think that they would do everything but move Ukraine to South Alabama if they could to get that aid? Of course they would. Come on. Talk about common sense, folks. That's all this is. So, the story breaks yesterday with the New York Post that Hunter Biden had a few laptops that got wet. He took it to a shop in Wilmington, Delaware. He ended up leaving one of the laptops and took the other ones with him. No one came back to claim it. The shop owner allegedly saw that he knew that this was Hunter Biden. He had seen him. He knows who he is. He knew this was Hunter's laptop. And he was looking through it. And he found emails back and forth between Hunter Biden and one of the heads of Burisma talking about getting FaceTime with Vice President Biden. And the emails go back like a year before the meeting. And then the meeting actually did take place in Washington, D.C. And the email read something basically to the effect, thank you very much for getting me the meeting with your dad. It was great seeing him and spending time with him, blah, 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 blah. So the New York Post wrote the story, and apparently there's numerous emails. Matter of fact, 5 a.m. This morning, this is Thursday, October 15th, the New York Post released even more emails that are associated with us. The computer guy gave the computer to the FBI. So they're investigating this. So, Twitter, in all of their infinite wisdom, Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, was retweeting the link to this story in the New York Post. Twitter censored her and then wouldn't allow the retweet to happen and shut down her account. Jack, who is the head of Twitter, has released now a statement saying, we dropped the ball. We screwed up. This shouldn't have happened. But yet, did Twitter, the reason behind it apparently was something about we're investigating, fact finding, finding out whether or not this is true before we allow it on our app. It's funny because I remember a salacious story coming out about President Trump about him only paying $750 in taxes, and I don't remember them postponing the fact check on that story. No, that story went around like wildfire. Kind of like the unverified dossier made by Hillary Clinton and her Russian spy with all the salacious crap about President Trump during the election in 2016. Elections just seems to get more crazy. It's not a matter of two nominees or 10 nominees. Take one from each party. The Green Party, the Libertarians, Republicans, Democrats, so on and so forth. It's not them sitting talking about policy. It's how big of a mud ball can I sling at you? And therein is my problem. Americans are facing some very difficult times. We can all agree, no matter what side of the aisle you lean or you stand in or you stand and scream in, that 2020 has been hell on everybody. Whether it be the coronavirus, government shutdowns. In February, we had the strongest economy this country had ever seen. Lowest unemployment rate of blacks, women, Hispanics, Asian Americans, all across. Excuse me. No, it's not coronavirus. It's allergies. We have the lowest unemployment in every metric going back 60 years. That's amazing. And then the coronavirus, we have shutdowns. We've got unemployment numbers through the roof, and people really needing help. I really think that with everything that our country is going through, to not have two candidates debate policy, debate facts. You did this when you were vice president. I've done this. The best line out of the debates, and let's just face it, the first presidential debate was a shit show on both sides. But the best line that came out of it was, I've done more in 47 months as president than you've done in 47 years in public service. It's funny. One of the reasons why I'm part of the unsilent majority, I truly believe, and I made this comment to my dad, he just laughed me off. He thought it was funny. President Trump will be reelected. He's not going to be reelected by 50.5% of the vote either. It's not going to be 51% of the vote. President Trump, I want you to mark my words. I'm saying this right now. This is 9:12 a.m. Central Time, October 15th. The election is less than 3 weeks away, and I'm telling you right now, President Trump will be reelected by more than 60% of the vote. But the poll numbers, if you don't follow history, you're bound to repeat it. Remember that old saying? Or My dad always says the old adage. Here's an adage for you. If you continually do something over and over again and expect a different result, that is the clinical definition of insanity, folks. They are going by the same polls they used 4 years ago. They were wrong 4 years ago, and they're wrong today. Why? Because our country is so polarized that people don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to vote for. So, Biden leading by 18 points in the national polls. That's bullshit. Biden leading in Florida by 8? Really? Not going to happen. So, rest assured, all of my conservative and Republican friends out there, we're going to have another day of laughing at liberals crying because the Democrat lost their nomination for president. The same way we laughed when Hillary lost. So for this time, it's going to be a landslide. It's going to be a landslide. If you don't believe me, just look at the rally sizes. Joe Biden had a rally in North Carolina and nobody showed up. The news reporters out there with their cameras and they're surveying, they're taking the camera, they're going back and forth up and down the road, and there's nobody there. President Trump, on a spur, Wednesday says, hey, we're going to go here Monday, here Tuesday, here Wednesday, here Thursday. And every time he shows up, there are tens of thousands of people there to hear him talk. This has not been seen since Barack Obama running for president in his first term. The enthusiasm level for our president is through the roof. Joe Biden could say, oh, it's because my side of the aisle are more cautious about COVID. You know what? I watched part of the Trump rally in Des Moines, Iowa, and I saw a lot of people wearing masks. They're washing their hands. There's hand sanitizer there. You can be responsible with your own health and still not stay locked up in your basement. And if anyone in their right mind thinks that if Joe Biden is elected president, he's not going to be hiding in the basement at the White House, you're crazy. I am absolutely stunned at some of the reports. Let's see. Joe Biden had locked himself for 21 days out of 30 in the month of September? 2 months before the election, you're going to stay hidden in your basement in Delaware? That's insane. And the only reason why he's able to do that is because the mainstream media, they're campaigning for him. Come on. We can all agree that the days of Walter Cronkite are over. The days of a news anchor sitting at a desk in front of the camera telling you the news of the day and calling it right down the middle and not being able to figure out what side of the aisle that news anchor is going to vote are over. I have watched channel flip back and forth through the different channels just to watch to see what they're saying. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing that when the economy was humming, all the news reports could talk about was all the bad stuff that Donald Trump does. Let's be honest. Is he crass? Rude? Yeah. Of course, if I'd been called a racist for the last 5 years, I'd be a little bit rude too. Because that's what the Democrats did. What they said was, oh, I can't debate policy with you, you're a racist. When you can't debate policy, you throw out that term. To a man who has given more money to the historically black colleges than our former black president, the man who did the First Step Act to reform, prison reform, to help the black community, who put in initiatives to help out the inner city where blacks live. If he's a racist, he's the worst racist on the planet, y'all. Come on. All right. I'm done venting for right now. My wife and I were involved in a car accident yesterday. We're both fine. A little whiplash, a little sore. That's one reason why the video didn't get put up yesterday. So there'll be 2 going up today. First one now and the next one later tonight. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and smash that bell so that every time I upload a new video, you'll get a notification that it's been uploaded. Y'all have a great day. Take care.